Hello everyone, this is Tim Allen with the Massey Group at Compass. It's November 9th, 2023. This is your quarter 4 of 2023 real estate market update. If you didn't know, in my previous life I was a pilot, so navigating this market feels a little bit like flying around in slow flight. And as the name suggests, you're not going anywhere fast. If we look at the county data, average price per square foot has kind of been stagnant or flat for the last 4 months. If we look at the average sold price of all properties in the county, tells a slightly different story, mostly stable, maybe a little bit of a slow bleed. Okay. Good news is that slow flight and flying is normal. Every time an airplane goes on a trip, it experiences slow flight twice in that flight. So it's normal, but it's also practiced often. Okay, and I'll get to that here in a second. So in the market, while we don't necessarily need to be concerned or panic, you want to stay vigilant because any significant catalyst out there could possibly cause a change in our current slow flight market. Okay, in flying, the reason why slow flight is practiced so often is because you're flying close to the critical angle of attack. If you exceed the critical angle of attack for a wing, the wing stalls, you lose altitude. We can look at that as, the market heading in a different direction. The other thing that we need to be concerned with and or vigilant with is, there's less airflow over the control surfaces when we're flying slower. So the same amount of input into the control doesn't cause the same effect as when you're going faster. Okay, and then we also have to be vigilant depending on what's going on and what phase of flight we're in and how we're maneuvering, what the circumstances are. Excessive G loading also could cause us to exceed the critical angle of attack. And then depending on what our altitude is, we lose altitude and that's not good. So if we're looking at the market, the real estate market, we want to be monitoring and vigilant of those catalysts out there. We have some negative catalysts out there already. We have a new war between Hamas and Israel. We have the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Ancillary effects of those two events could cause changes in the economy. We have an election year coming up, which is kind of a catch-22. Usually it causes some pause. I think the beginning of the year, especially with the next factor I'm going to share with you, I think the beginning of 2024 is going to be good. We're going to see some movement in real estate. I think the second half of the year, depending on what's going on and what the polls are showing and who's winning, there's going to be a change in power usually that gives people some pause. And possibly even if the incumbent president looks like they're going to get reelected, that could cause some pause. Okay, but we're already seeing some changes out there in the market. The Fed has seemed to indicate that they're happy with the data right now and they're going to pause. And coincidentally, we're starting to see the beginning of some easing in mortgage rates. Okay, so what do we do with this knowledge while we're in slow flight? Well, sellers out there, you're just going to need to be patient to get what you want. Okay, things are happening slower. The houses are not selling in 24 hours or in 7 days or in 14 days. Buyers out there got to get creative and overcome the mortgage hurdle. Mortgage rates are still high. Like I said, the rates are still increasing, but there are creative products out there. You can do temporary buy downs. You can use ARMs. You could use permanent buy downs to buy that rate down to a more affordable level. The advantage now is there's less competition out there from buyers. Okay, once rates ease, that's going to bring buyers in. That's going to bring competition in, and essentially, if we're equating that to flying, at some point in time, the market's going to clean up and take off. At some point in time, or depending on what the circumstances in the flight, we're ready to add full power, retract the gear, clean up the flaps, and away we go. So that's your update. I'm Tim Allen with the Massey Group at Compass. Feel free to reach out to myself or Ed if you have any questions, and have a great end of the year. See you in 2024.